What comes up for me is a little bit of a story of how I came to practice at all. Some of you are familiar with my story, and others won't have heard it, but I think it started when I was about 4 years old and going to church with my family, and one Sunday the minister decided that he would speak to the little people in the congregation, and he basically told us that we were all wrong because we thought earthworms were icky. And I was just at the right age to have just learned that earthworms were in fact icky. And so I knew that there was something really fundamentally wrong with what he was saying, and ended my career as a church-going person at that age. And entered a career of, I think it's really typical of people in our culture to just be there with open hearts and get knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, which was basically the process of my life, growing up as an Air Force brat and moving from community to community and not really even knowing my family, extended family, until I reached my teen years. And going through school, it was this same process of whatever you came with to the teacher, whatever you brought to the experience of school, it was not good enough and it was wrong. And I guess that's the process in our culture of learning through pain. I was a good student, so it might not have been as painful for me as for others. However, it was painful enough. And so at about 14, I guess I was just ready to hear something different, and my brother had read a book on Buddhism, which could have been the 3 pillars of Zen. I'm not sure now what it was, but he came to me all excited. He was my older brother, and his excitement was so infectious. He'd heard this story about a monk who lived in a cave on a mountain, and wow, that just sounded so good. And the monk met a robber, and the robber robbed him. But the monk didn't have anything except the clothing on his back to give, and so gave what he had. And this was so contrary to the culture that I'd been brought up in. It was just so amazing in its dignity and wholeness, this story. And the monk afterwards felt sorry that he couldn't have given the thief more, couldn't have given him the moon. Just unheard of. I was so excited to hear this story, and it just percolated in the back of my being somewhere for years and years, through years of diving into intellectual activities to stay away from the pain of life. I was really lucky that I didn't get drowned in alcohol or be particularly attracted to drugs or other forms of escape, and went through university and graduate school, and emerged very shut down and I think emotionally crippled. And then Doshu and I started a family and moved to live in a forest, which was the best move we ever made, and learned about community. We knew a little bit about community from living in a co-op house, but learned about extended community and all the joys and sorrows that entails, and began to unwind a little bit. And we had in my I guess just before I finished grad school, we joined the Zen Center in Toronto, and I'd learned a little bit about meditation. I'd previously been a TM practitioner, but it didn't really take with me. The teaching wasn't really basic enough for me, and I didn't really have any sense of what it was all about. So I meditated intermittently, and just in the course of living in this rural community, in the bosom of this really actually quite loving community, and under the trees and by the ocean, and listening to the whales and the eagles, just gradually started to unwind from my growing up in pain, and began to realize there were options for learning through pleasure, and became involved in Jin Shin Do and Tai Chi and Qigong. We suddenly moved to Victoria, thanks to all our friends and family supporting us through Doshu's illness. And here, thanks to Doshu, we found the Zen Center, and I eventually joined and began trying to have a daily practice, because all indications were that a daily practice was really necessary. I'd been learning from a Wiccan who said daily practice. I'd been learning Qigong energy work, and I had huge books of this, which were great for intellectual study, but every couple of pages it would say you shouldn't try this unless you have a daily practice of meditation. And so came to the Zen Center hoping that I would develop a daily practice. And I have to say that I'm so grateful to the Zen Center, to Zenwest, because here there's a community, here there's a teacher who actually teaches, and lo and behold, even I have a daily practice at this point. I'm so grateful. I knew that I couldn't get to this place through beating myself up. I knew that I didn't, and beating myself up is what I did, but I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. And this way of working with habit energy and turning it to advantage has just been so beneficial. Starting with a couple of minutes of sitting a day, just opening a little space in my day so that I can meditate, and then gradually expanding that to the practice that I have now. The benefits are, I was talking to friends about this in the car, are being able to fight with Doshu in a way that's authentic and in a way that's really clean, like just having an issue come up and realizing that it's an issue and taking the time to get clarity on the feelings and communicate. It's just an amazing thing in a relationship, when previously I was the kind of person that took everything personally and just brooded for weeks and weeks and never really got clarity on what was going on. So I'm just really joyfully in love with Doshu, and it's just such a gift to be able to share this practice with him. And other benefits that keep me coming back to the sitting cushion are just the joy of being there, for one, but taking it into my work and being able to be with my coworkers, to practice at the desk. Many of you know I'm a really bad clerk at the library, and I'm just so argumentative, opinionated, and angry a lot of the time, and that doesn't work for customer service. And so it's so great to have a method of just being in the world where, that's all okay. Like, there's no one saying that I have to be a saint. There's no one saying that anger and opinions are bad. It's just that I would like to have skillful means around them, and I'm just starting to develop those skillful means. So I'm so grateful for that. And what I notice is that especially over the summer, the rhythm of going to every single Tuesday evening sit at the university, it's just such a great thing because, I'm forced to go because I'm a monk. And I started by hating it, and I enjoy it so much. And what I find is the glow, the Wednesday morning glow, that so many people speak about. Even I have the Wednesday morning glow. I mean, how amazing is that? And it just gives this charge to my week. And then I've started to notice that after a Sunday, Sunday afternoons, pretty good. And after a one-day intensive, days and days of just feeling okay in my skin. And then after the Seichu, we had, I think it was a 7-day kind of mixture of work and practice here at the Zendo in the summertime. And I just feel like I'll never be the same again after that, because I got in touch with a depth of okayness that it just lasted for weeks. And, I have to tell you, I'm the sort of person that the little squirrels in my mind are going, I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid. And it is so strong that it actually comes out my mouth sometimes, and it's really embarrassing. And for weeks after the Seichu, no little squirrels. So these are all the things that I can share right now that are of huge benefit to me and make my life so joyful. And I am so filled with gratitude for all of you and for our teacher and for Doshu and my friends. Thank you. That's all.